Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another edition of Unger the Radar, and a very special edition of Unger the Radar, because today I will be interviewing actress Jennifer Runyon of Ghostbusters fame. Also, she was in Charles in Charge, A Very Brady Christmas. She's done film and TV, and she's just a wonderful actress, and I'm really excited to talk to her today. Also, I've got a panel of wonderful film critics with Erica A. Hello.
Hi, Randy. Glad to be back.
Yeah, welcome back. How are you?
Well, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
How about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm usually the one who asks questions around here.
So, it's your show. Someone's got to talk to you.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Nick Commando, welcome back.
Hello.
Series regular.
Sure.
How's it going?
No, I'm alive.
Yeah. Good. We're all alive, and this is beautiful right now.
Unless we're not.
Ooh. Interesting.
Are any of us truly alive?
I think it's a little early to get into the existential stuff. I don't know.
Never too early.
That's true.
3 a.m. What is the meaning of life?
Yes.
Nick, go to bed. No.
So guys, how's it going? How's it? When was the last time you were here, Erica?
For our anniversary.
For the anniversary show, yeah.
But then I went away.
I was here the week after, on my birthday.
Yeah, good.
That's how dedicated I am. I came on my birthday.
I skipped my birthday last week. I told you I'd come after my birthday because I was away. I was about to say
happy
it.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
I know I wished
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Did you do anything fun?
Well, yes, my idea of fun.
Okay.
I went up to John Jay's homestead, one of the signers of the Constitution, first Chief Justice of the United States.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it was fun for me.
I didn't know you were a history buff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have visited all the presidents' houses in chronological order up to present day. Wow. Unfortunately, presidents are still alive, living in their houses, so my little quest is on hold.
Okay.
I'm not wishing any of them dead, though.
Right. Well, speaking of which, John Cain passed away yesterday.
McCain.
Yes. Sorry, yeah. And I wasn't a supporter of his, but, he was obviously a wonderful war hero, so I respect him for that.
Also, just so you know, in the acting world, Neil Simon just died.
Did he really?
Just like a little while ago.
See, wow. That hits me harder than John McCain.
Sorry to do that.
No. You know, The Odd Couple? And,
yes.
Yeah. Wow, he was.
I was also devastated Robin Leach died.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Robin, was that the
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous?
Yeah. Jesus, they're all going like flies here. It's really.
It's been a bad week.
Yeah. Seriously, but we're not gonna let that deter us. We're not gonna let that ruin the mood. So we've got Chris Clemente. He's actually on his way. He'll be the third panelist today on the film review segment.
Or he's just invisible.
We're back with the existential stuff. I love it.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Especially from a Ghostbuster.
He's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't put your shirt back on.
Oh, don't do that.
It's better than Skype. It's like he's here in our minds. I love it. So Nick, have you seen anything good other than the movies we're going to talk about today?
I've seen many things.
Yes.
I think I have 20/20 vision. So.
Oh, good.
I've seen many
you
things.
You see me right now.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay.
Yes, and your nice haircut.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. As far as movies go, no. Aside from the ones that we watched for today's show, I have not seen anything recently.
Okay.
More TV, as I was telling Evan and Erica, I've been watching Breaking Bad for like the 5th or 6th time.
I know. I was at your house once, and you just played a random episode. Yeah.
Have you seen it or no? You had not seen it.
I only saw
you
it
had
once.
Seen it.
The whole series only once.
Okay,
all the way through.
Well,
I need
not
to
all of us
revisit.
can watch it a million times like me.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I That and Better Call Saul, which is the
Which is a
spinoff.
worthwhile
Which-
present day show.
very-
I was like very, very spot
Now
on.
it's a prequel, right?
It's a
Yes.
prequel.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an origin story. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say prequel, though I have the perfect way to end the show, but that's just me. Yeah, it is a prequel. It tells the story of Saul Goodman and
Right.
his origins.
I saw
from-
season 1. I didn't really
Yeah.
stick around though.
Fascinating. It's a fascinating show. He's very much a tragic character, and
Okay.
there's something about comedians doing dramatic roles that just pulls
Yeah.
me in for some
Because
reason.
well, comedy comes from a dark place. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a deep within their soul.
Yeah.
You know, it's like really intense. Like Robin Williams is a prime example.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler, not so much, but he's done some really good
Adam
dramatic work.
Sandler's had some interesting work over
When
the
he
years.
does drama, he's
He
very
does.
understated.
Yes.
He's
What
more
was-
understated than anything else.
Punch Drunk Love was that was a decent performance, I'd say. That was the first time I was like, wow.
I watched about 20 minutes of that. And then I
you
was
weren't into it.
I didn't really understand what was going on. I was expecting more drinking, more love, and a few punches, and none of that happened in the first 20 minutes, so I turned it off.
All right, fair enough.
Well, some movies really fluster trying to get started in their first 20 minutes.
You mean the first
It's true.
season? Yeah.
No, I'm saying a movie.
Oh, a movie.
It takes 20 minutes to actually get into being worthwhile. Why did I sit through this?
You
Well, I
all-
think Scream, the first Scream in '96, I think that started amazingly well with Drew Barrymore getting stalked and murdered. That was wow.
For
Okay.
me, not so much with movies, but with TV, you have to suck me in immediately.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad does that because
Yes.
the first scene of the pilot is
There's-
amazing.
That's what they're
But
driving
there's
the
nothing
RV, right?
worse
The
than a
pants-
show where
Yeah.
Are just trickling down to the ground, and then a RV just speeds by, and you're like, whoa, what are they doing?
This is a genius. I think it's my favorite dramatic series of all time. I think so. I think that.
But you s-
A lot of people consider it like one of the best, one of the great, like the greatest drama of all time.
Yeah, it's so perfect. There's like
And-
nothing bad about
And
it.
like I have like one episode left, and I'm done. I'm up to the finale.
Yeah.
And
and then you get to start all over again.
yeah,
awesome.
And
Very
the,
Brian McKnight.
the loose ends they tie up is just fantastic because there's almost no questions when that show ends. Like like they pretty much cover everything. What
Right.
happens with Jesse? What happens with Walt?
Yeah.
What's happening with Skylar? Even though she sucks.
Let's not. By the way, Nick,
No-
no
no
spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Even though the show ended
Yeah.
like a few years ago,
5 years ago.
people are still binge watching it
Yeah.
right now.
Exactly.
Oh, don't encourage binge watching.
That's a binge watching worthy show, though.
All right, fine.
That show is
If it-
accidental binging because it sucks you in so deeply. You're like, no, what's gonna happen
Yeah.
next? I can't do this.
Yeah.
Although it's one of the it's unbingeable because each episode's like 45 minutes, so
Right.
it's difficult to binge.
It took me like maybe 3 weeks to get through
like
it all.
if it's like a 30 Rock or something where it's 30 minutes an episode or 20 minutes an episode,
Wasn't 30 Rock
you
one
got
of the
that.
first shows that actually was intentionally an off number, so that it forced you to watch and stay with the channel?
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't
NBC,
watch
right?
it when it was.
Yes.
I
never
didn't
got
watch
into
it when it was
I liked
network.
Alec Baldwin, but I didn't think
But
he was that
before the
great.
reality shows were doing that, like
Uh-huh.
American Idol, I believe it was one of the first actual shows that was going where it actually stayed an extra minute longer and it forced you to stay so you didn't flip to the channel and go to
that
the next
sounds
show.
Yeah. It's this very clever tactic by the studio.
Which is interesting
network.
because you'd expect more shows to do that
Yeah.
to keep to
Well,
be like
more
a
shows are
true
more
lead
concerned
in.
about
for,
making the money about the commercials and
Yeah.
getting to their commercial really quickly like
Yeah.
that so that they can go back to their sponsors.
Yeah. Gotcha. Eric, other than Breaking Bad, what are you watching?
Well, I'm not really watching Breaking Bad. I'm still watching old stuff besides silly stuff like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, the
I
old
still,
school stuff. Okay.
I still love Dallas. I was making a joke about Welcome Back, Kotter on the last show.
I
I've
like
now
that.
been
That was
watching a lot
John
more-
Travolta, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot more H&I. I've actually been excited. Beastmaster and Relic Hunter are like on their second run. They're
All right.
finally back. They were like late 90s, early 2000 shows.
Okay. Do you remember Nightman?
Yes.
They're redoing. I think they're remaking Bewitched.
Are they? Well, they did the movie.
They
with-
did the movie. I
which
hope
was-
they don't touch it.
That was
I
one of
think
the
they
worst
just
movies I've
announced
ever
like
seen in
in
my
the
life.
last couple days they're
It
rebooting the
wasn't-
TV series.
Well, they're rebooting everything except for
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Well, no, they're remaking everything and they're rebooting everything every so often.
I don't know. I saw a
Nothing's
bus
new.
ad for Murphy Brown.
Yes.
Yep.
25 years later. Okay. So Nick? What shows did you watch growing up? I'm curious. I don't think we ever touched on that.
I mean, it was mostly cartoons and kid related stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
really watch anything all that intense.
Uh-huh.
Like I said on the last show, my parents were very like sheltering, and
Yeah.
I
Okay,
couldn't
you
really
didn't
watch
live
anything
in,
too vulgar.
You didn't live in the cable guy world.
Cable guy.
No, I didn't. No, I did not. So it was really just like, Toonami and stuff that was on Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
All right, cool. Erica?
Oh, I was a TV fanatic even from before I could speak.
Nice.
From the game shows to like Concentration, Password. There was this one show, plus the Nickelodeon shows, Double Dare, Guts.
Okay. Remember
There
Make Me
wa-
Laugh?
No, I was gonna say I remember Finders Keepers and Make the Grade.
Okay. Well, hey,
And
sorry
of
to
course
cut.
Disney Afternoon was great. Now I'll let
yes,
you get back
yeah.
to it.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're going to be speaking with Jennifer Runyon in a moment, I hope.
Okay.
So. But, yeah. Did you say Disney Afternoons?
Yes.
What was that?
From the
Darkwing?
original ones back to Gummy Bears, all the way to the late ones when I stopped watching, when there were shows like Aladdin and Gargoyles. Gargoyles, I was lost on, I think, most children.
It was
It was way too deep.
It was
I watched that when I was getting my
basically-
tonsils removed.
You did?
Yeah, I was 5 years old. My tonsils were removed. I have a weird thing with memory and other things.
Well, that's why most
Gargoyles
people remember
is
life.
when my tonsils were
It's
removed.
a good show. It was a good show. It's like Batman meets Ninja Turtles in a way.
Yeah.
Actually,
it.
I thought it was like more like
Ninja Turtles
some-
meets Batman.
Ooh, touche, sir. Touche.
All right.
Yeah.
Though I lived the life of a Ninja Turtle only last week.
Do tell.
I had to be Donatello and bring a giant stick and defeat giant bugs.
Did you wear the blue headband?
No.
Oh,
That
no.
would be Leonardo.
You're right. Yeah, I
I'd
got
have to be purple.
purple
And I don't
headband.
think I owned very much purple.
Did you paint your skin green?
No. I only
Damn
came
it.
with a giant stick in the middle of the night and battled in giant bugs.
Bow staff, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Were you into turtles growing up?
Yes.
Erica? Yeah. Now you're a girl. I mean, I don't want to be sexist.
I know.
Did you play with the action figures?
No.
Okay.
But I will admit I was
You were a
I
girl.
was deterred from having a Ninja Turtle lunchbox when I started kindergarten.
But you were tempted.
No, I had it.
Oh, you did have it.
I had to stop using it because I was deterred. I was told not to. I was a girl.
I think I had the
But
same
I
lunchbox.
was always one of the boys. I watched Superhuman Samurai. I watched all
Yeah.
kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay.
Things I was forced to watch that you've never heard of, and I'm like, I thought you didn't like the show. I'm like, yeah, I'm giving you a brief
I've
synopsis.
heard of your shows. I know you. I know what you watched. Did you ever watch? Were you into DuckTales?
Yes, well, that was Disney Afternoon. Chip
Yeah.
and Dale, Tailspin was one of my
Tailspin
absolute
was
favorites.
amazing. Yeah.
Darkwing Duck, Bonkers.
Never got into
act-
Bonkers.
Really? I was
Yeah.
going to actually compare the movie we're going to talk to Bonkers
That's actually a good comparison. We'll get into that later.
when we get to the movies.
Okay.
Okay,
So.
apart from Disney Afternoon, there was also the great debate of Heathcliff or Garfield.
Oh, Garfield and Friends all the way.
I mean, Garfield and Friends All the Way was a better I
Well,
agree.
Heathcliff,
Heathcliff, I actually hated Heathcliff
he
as
had a good
character.
theme song.
Yes, he had a great
But-
theme. But I was going to say, but his alternative plots,
Yeah.
the Junkyard Gang, I actually liked them.
Okay.
I liked Riff Raff, and I liked the girl that wore the knee-high, so 80s running things.
You know what? When it comes to theme songs, though, Alvin and the Chipmunks, I think that was one of my favorites.
I liked Woody Woodpecker's theme song. That was a great one.
Yeah, that was good. What else? Tiny Toons. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
We're tiny, we're
toony,
toony, we're
we're
all a
all
little
loony.
loony.
And in this cartoon,
That's my
we're
contribution to the conversation.
Thank you. Sorry, Nick.
No, I don't care. It's
Okay.
No, typical.
Go back to cartoons.
Yeah, typical Saturday morning for you. What do you put on when you? turn
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so late.
I was born
though.
in 1990, so
All
right.
I'm getting the vibe that
We're a little.
I'm the youngest person in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
conversation
yeah.
right now.
For-
No disrespect to either one
But
Or
of you.
I am a few months younger than Randy.
I know I'm an old man, but all of
I
these.
caught up with you this week.
You did, oh, you did.
Animaniacs.
Yes.
I remember Animaniacs, but I was mostly Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and then
Okay.
my parents would take me to Toys R Us and Valley Stream, which is closed now, and that's a weird sentence.
Yeah.
They're
But-
all closed. I mean,
yeah,
even at
and
Metro
we would
Mall
play-
too. I was shocked.
Yeah, and we would play Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and I would never win, and I would hate the game, and then I'd come back the next
Yeah.
week because I was a glutton for
All
punishment.
right. So how about Digimon? Were you?
Oh, Digimon, yeah, Digimon, Digital Monsters. It was weird. Digimon was weird because they would just evolve and then just be like, nah, we're done.
Yeah.
Just go back
But
to
they
being
made
tiny and
Unevolve.
adorable.
I never understood
Yeah,
that.
that was so
Well,
weird.
you know what's funny?
Though,
You
you know what's? Oh, I was going to say,
I'm
you know
sorry.
what's interesting? They actually made a new Digimon movie. It only came out this year.
Yeah.
I was just
The longevity that
surprised.
those shows have is wild.
It's the
Yeah.
old cast, the characters I recognized,
Yeah.
and I was vested in. And I was like,
Kind of like Power Rangers, how they kind of recycle
Well, no,
plots.
they-
We're doing a
recycle
25th
the
anniversary
plots,
show.
but-
They're bringing like everybody back for Power
Really?
Rangers.
You
Yeah.
think as many people as like when they did the whole Red reuniting thing?
I think that, well, they're definitely bringing back Jason David Frank, who was Tommy. They're
Well,
bringing
I know,
him back.
Are they doing this reunion at New York Comic Con? Because that would be the
No,
perfect-
it's going to be a television. It's going to be an episode. It's the 25th anniversary episode of Power
That's cool.
Rangers.
That's cool.
They're bringing like I think they're bringing as many people back as they
which-
can. It's going to be like
and
every
how many
iteration of the Power
Rangers
Rangers.
are going to still have their powers? I think that's the better question.
I think all of them are. I think that because I've seen still shots and like they're like some of them that did like the first 3 seasons or were there for like Mighty Morphin Zeo and Turbo. They're like
Well,
pinning
no,
them
it
to like
was
one
Mighty Morphin,
iteration
It was
of it.
Zeo and the Alien. It was the Alien Rangers. By Turbo, everyone left because they went to college.
Yeah.
Honestly, I stopped watching in like 95, 96. I don't know. After
Wasn't
the
that when the show started?
Oh, that's your fault.
No, it started in 94.
Okay.
So I think when Jason David Frank became the White Ranger and they made the movie,
Yes.
that's when I lost interest.
I used to have all the Megazords.
You did?
Yeah,
That's
my
cool.
dad wouldn't let me throw them out, and then I just sold them. I made no money. It was sad.
Yeah, those things are collectibles right now. So.
Yeah, like I
Yes.
wish I had them now, but I don't.
Oh.
Well, did
Barnes
you
and
sell
Noble
them
was
for-
selling like the original Megazord
Barnes
from
and
like
Noble?
from like the movie for like $100. And I was like,
back on while you're partying.
You mean the new movie, right?
no, the
old
the Mighty Morphin with
Oh, the
Ivan
Mighty
Ooze.
Morphin
Yeah,
95.
yeah.
Okay.
It's weird too because they have all the seasons on Netflix, and it's like
Yeah.
they've cleverly repeated the same concept like 3 or 4
Well,
times.
yes.
It's hysterical.
I mean, the plots were so redundant and so predictable that
Yeah.
I'll admit that when I was a little girl, for a bedtime story, I wanted a Power Ranger plot.
Yeah.
And it's so my mother would be making up
Play
plots,
the
and, it was,
Horizon ring back on while you're partying.
Whoops.
and there was
Okay.
nothing scarier.
Hi,
than-
Jennifer.
Hi.
I'm sorry about the delay there. I had a little mishap with my phone system, but I'm
Oh.
here with Randy right now.
Nice.
Jennifer, hello.
Hi, Randy.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you so much, Ryan. This is great. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course, I got concerned. I thought, oh my gosh, did I give them the right number?
No, we got you here. You are now live on Under the Radar.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for having me. That's so awesome.
Yeah, this is beyond awesome, I'd say.
Aw, thanks.
Because I should tell you, I think I mentioned I'm actually a New York City Ghostbuster.
I love that. That is crazy good. Next time I come to New York, I have to meet you guys. You know,
Yeah,
just
that'd be
a little
amazing.
franchise of you guys. That'd be great.
That's awesome. So tell us actually, we have a little bit of a studio audience right now.
Oh, great.
How did you get involved with one of the greatest film franchises ever made?
Well, I got a phone call, and they said, hey, can you go over to, I think it was Warner Brothers, there's an audition for a Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd movie, and I just was absolutely, I mean, who doesn't love, Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd?
Of course.
So I just went and read for it, and I didn't hear anything for the longest time, and finally got another call weeks later and met Ivan, and I found out I got the part, and it was a while before I filmed it, but I was really excited. I mean, I had no idea really what the script was, but I just didn't care. I'm like, oh, even if it's a little scene, I'm doing it.
Good choice. Great choice, actually.
Oh, thanks.
So what was it like working with Bill?
It was great. He really, kept that scene going with he's spontaneous, and he does a lot of ad-libbing and, but he did kind of keep to the script, but he would ad-lib quite a bit. So he just made it fun, and he kept the crew happy. I mean, he's just constant. I think I laughed for 6 hours, straight.
That's great.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome. Also, what was it like being on Charles in Charge? Huge fan.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know what? I had a great time on that show, and I was kind of pretty much new to the sitcom world. Actually, I was new to the sitcom world. So, Scott and Willie really, they were like my brothers, and they really taught me a lot of how to work, the sitcom formula, because it's definitely a genre you kind of, it takes a little practice and learning how the comedy thing. And so I just had a great time, and I was really sad when we got canceled on CBS. I really hoped at least it would go one more year, but you know.
You had a good run.
That's showbiz.
What were you were on about 7 seasons?
I was on the very first season,
Right.
the very first original.
Gwendolyn Pierce.
So,
right.
yeah, and we were the very first Charles in Charge. We're the OG of Charles in Charge. So, and then a couple of years, I think, went by, maybe a year or 2 years, and they brought it back in syndication on, I think, the CW, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am. But by that time, the kids had on our show had grown up a little more, and some of them, like Jonathan Ward, I think, was filming movies at that point. And I was working on another show, and so they decided to recast, you know, a family, and you know, it seemed to work out really well for them. They had a really long run.
Yeah. I actually did.
Yeah.
I did like the second family a little bit more than the first, but that's just a personal preference.
Well, shame on you.
But you were a constant. You were always good.
No, they were cute. I thought they all did a really good job.
Yeah. Now, you've done film, you've done TV. Do you prefer one over the other?
Well, it would depend. I mean, as far as my favorite thing is working on sitcoms. I love comedy, and I love the whole, you know, it's fun. It's not easy, so I find it a challenge. So I've always enjoyed the comedy aspect, and I love doing sitcoms. It's fun to work in front of a live audience. And you do 2 shows usually. You rehearse all week, and then at the end of the week, you have 2 audiences that come in for 2 separate shows, and it's just fun. It's like live theater, you know.
Yeah.
But it's fun to work on a film, you know. It's a longer process, and you know, it's not as. I would say that live camera shows, you know, you get the instant gratification right away of the laughs and you know, the audience being right there, and with film, you don't know what the hell you did until it comes out. It's kind of scary sometimes.
Gotcha. Now, between 1993 and 2015, you had a bit of a hiatus. I'm just curious.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I'm curious. Why the break?
Well, I had children, and I just knew that the last thing I wanted was somebody else telling me my kids did something, you know, their first steps, their first words, you know. I didn't want someone else calling my kid calling someone else mommy for the first time.
Oh, gosh.
So I just kind of made a decision. I was very blessed and fortunate that, you know, my husband, you know, I could stay home with my kids, and, you know, we were blessed and fortunate for that. So I just made that my mission if I was going to bring children into this world, and I was lucky enough to be able to stay home with them, and that's what I chose to do.
That's great. Are they Ghostbusters fans as well?
They're so sick of me. No. You know what? Yes, they think Ghostbusters is awesome, but they're just over me.
All right. Now they're obviously older now. What are you currently working on? What are your projects right now?
Well, my favorite thing I work on right now is I do a show on Village Connection Radio.
Right.
Called The Incred with my fabulous co-host Stephen Miller, the best hair in radio, if you ask me. But I just love my brother there. He's the best, and honestly, every Thursday, I'm just so happy Thursday's coming around, because it's just him and I, just like we talk on the phone all week. So it's just another day that it's just fun. Cool. But other than that, you know, I've done a couple of little parts in some movies, and you know, I'm out there now. You know, we'll see what happens. You never know. I could get something tomorrow, and I could never work again.
No.
So one day at a time, I think.
Right. Do you have a dream role?
Oh, I want to be a witch.
Yeah.
I want to be the head of a coven.
Like a wicked stepmother? I can see that.
I want to be like an evil head of the coven and just horrible. I do.
That'd be great.
I'm always playing nice girls, so I like it when I get, roles that are, you know, kind of a little edgier. And I especially, I did one recently where I played a very sadistic Russian nurse that is it's a comedy.
Cool.
That's very abusive to her patients. And I had the most fun with that. I love character roles. So
Nice.
I keep them, offer them to me. I'm happy to do it.
Yes, whoever's listening, offer Jennifer
Yes.
a great meaty role. As
Shamelessly
Yes.
asking for work.
leader of the Witches' Coven. I love it.
I know, right?
So, are there any actors or filmmakers that you haven't worked with that you'd want to in the future?
Well, you know what? I love all the comedies that. Oh God, I can never remember their names. It's the brothers.
Farrelly?
The brothers. Yeah.
Coens?
I love them.
Fairleys. Okay.
They're awesome, and there's the other brothers too. Isn't there another set of brothers that they do like, or maybe it's the same guys? They did
the
40-year-old
Duplass?
version.
The Duplass brothers, maybe?
Knocked Up, all those. I love those
Oh,
silly
those
comedies.
guys.
I just
Oh.
think they do such a good job with them. They're stupid and mindless, and I love them.
So you
Takes
want?
us out of our crazy world, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what advice do you have for aspiring actors out there? Jennifer?
Well, I think you know if it's in your blood, you're gonna do it. Don't give up. Make sure you have a fallback, just so you have something else that you can do that keeps you busy and keeps you clear. Because we get very discouraged sometimes because this is not the easiest business. My daughter is in it right now, and you know it's not easy to get a job anymore. It's not easy, like it wasn't easy when I was doing it years and years ago, but it's a different business now. And don't get discouraged. You know, a lot of times they look at your Facebook and your social media to see how many followers you have, and that determines sometimes if they will hire you, because your followers will then watch whatever you're in, which is a disadvantage for people that don't buy into that whole thing. Learn your craft. Study. Don't think you know everything. The minute you think you know everything, you know nothing. And just work hard.
And now, having said that, how did you feel when your daughter told you that she wanted to get into acting?
Well, when she was about 10, she was begging us. And I said, well, you know, you can't just go out and be an actress. That's just not how it works. You need to know how to be an actress. So I put her in an acting class for about 2 years and said, this is what it takes. You got to go to class every week and, you know, just study, and watch every movie, you know, learn your history in the movies. And she did. She went to acting class every week. She was religious about it. And when she was 12, we kind of thought, okay, well, she's serious. So she got involved and ended up doing a couple of things. She did a couple of Disney things and commercials. And you know, I got to say, after 2 years, when she was 14, I'm driving her up to LA one day for a big audition, and bless her heart, she's crying. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, is it okay if I just be a kid for a while? I just want to go to the school dance tonight, and I can't, you know, because I have an audition. And I went, okay, we're done.
Oh, okay.
And I pulled her out, and I just said, you know, she goes, maybe later when I'm older. And I said, it's not going anywhere. You could do this later. Be a kid, of course, because I never pushed it, you know. So I did. I pulled her right out, and she did not do another thing until she graduated high school, went to college up in LA, and she got another agent. She did all on her own, and the kid's been working, and you know, it's in her blood. She's obsessed.
It's literally in her blood. It's literally in her blood. Yeah.
She's stuck with it now.
Any other family members in the business?
Well, my husband has kind of dual careers, but he's an assistant director. That's how I met him
Okay.
on a movie way back in the day. and our whole family is pretty much involved. I have nephews, and I have a nephew and my niece who are actresses and actors, Jonathan Runyon and Mary Elizabeth Johnson. They're actors out there in Hollywood.
Right.
And my husband's family is very involved in the film industry. If you've ever heard of Roger Corman,
Oh, yeah.
that's my husband's uncle. And so Roger and my father-in-law, Gene, started the World Pictures together. And yeah, so it's kind of, we've just all been in it. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, final question. The new Ghostbusters that came out in 2016, being an original cast member of the original film, what do you think of the new Ghostbusters?
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
Really? Okay.
No, I haven't. And
Okay.
not for any other reason than I don't like going to the movies. I don't do well in movie theaters.
Okay.
I like movies at home and I can pause it and get up and do whatever. So I don't have it yet. I need to get a copy of it, and I
Yeah.
think the women in it are so amazing that I
True.
think I'm going to enjoy it. And I say, give the girls a break, all you criticizers. Let them. Come on, it's not the same movie. Just
Right.
we support the girls. That's what I say.
I'll just tell you, there is no 2016 equivalent of you in the movie. Like, there's no Jennifer Runyon type of character, unfortunately.
Well, I've heard several folks say if they do another one, I should be in it, and I should be a psychic, a bad psychic on television.
Like, do the reverse
Selling
role.
my-
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that
Oh,
idea.
Jen.
Call up Ivan
That'd be
Reitman.
funny.
He's a producer.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Awesome. Well, Jennifer, I want to thank you so much for your time today. This has been incredible. And I want
Thank you for having me, Randy. I appreciate it, and that was so fun. Thank you,
Yeah,
and
and-
hi guys in the studio.
Yeah, and I speak with all the fellow Ghostbusters out there in the world, and we just want to thank you for everything you did in the movie and the legacy that the
Aw.
movie has brought to so many people. So thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, thank you. You just humbled me.
And also, if you're ever in Long Island, we'd love to have you stop by the studio for an in-person interview. This was just great.
That'd be great. Absolutely. You
Awesome.
got it.
Jennifer, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. And that was our Jennifer Runyon interview. I want to thank her again. She's great. Great movie. And now we're going to take a short break, very short break, and we'll get right into our film review segment. Everyone's a critic. We'll be right back. And we're back, guys. Welcome back to Under the Radar. I'm your host, Randy Unger, and this is our film review segment, Everyone's a Critic. Again, Erica A., Nick Commando, and a new starter today, Chris Clemente.
We can see you.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
I'm
back.
here.
You're
Thank
here in
you.
the flesh.
Thank
Yes,
you for putting
yeah.
your shirt back on.
I was a ghost before.
You were.
In
You
lieu
were
of
taking off your
Ghostbusters.
shirt. It was offensive.
It was disturbing. It was disturbing.
Thank you for putting it
I
back
know,
on.
sorry. The world's not ready for that yet.
No. We'll get to that in another episode, maybe. So we've got two films. Very different films. We've got The Bookshop, which stars Emily Mortimer. She plays a widow in a small town who wants to open up a bookshop, and basically some of the locals are opposed to it. One gentleman, played by Bill Nighy, is a big book reader, a big book fan, and he becomes her friend. She hires a young girl to be her assistant in the bookshop. It's a very character-driven drama. I thought it was kind of dull, a little dry for my taste, but
I'm laughing because you're saying the synopsis, and even that's dull. I'm just like falling asleep just
even the
listening to
poster
it.
is dull.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Erica, The Bookshop. What do you
Okay,
think?
now everyone gets to be horrified. I'm going to contradict you all.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, because I was excited. It was actually the kind of movie I enjoy that I actually pick out to watch.
Okay.
I liked the characters. I found it interesting. I found it, though, that they were a little vague on which war it was, how people are trying to pick up their lives and people are widowed and so on and so forth after the war. But I found the characters to be amusing. I found it also reminded me a great deal of a movie, Chocolat,
Oh, yeah.
which came out, I want to say, early mid-2000s.
2000, yeah. That was Johnny Depp, right? And
No.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, Johnny Depp was
Johnny
in it.
Depp.
Chocolat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Johnny Depp and Julia Ormond, I want to say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of her, and I was like, Johnny, yes. But I found that to be an interesting one, and so it wasn't a great movie. I left it at the end and went, oh, I've seen better, but I was glad I sat through it.
Yeah.
And if you like that kind of stuff, it has a real feel. The town really feels real. The characters feel real. It has a slow flow. Yes, it was a little boring for people who want things to blow up. They wanted the whole town to have the planes left over to fly overhead and everything to go boom and everyone to run or jump in the river or something. That doesn't happen.
Right.
I wouldn't say I was expecting anything to blow up, more so that I was expecting something to actually happen.
Oh,
Aside from a
happened.
bunch of British people
At least,
staring at each other and having a very civilized argument.
I was
So-
expecting
They
like a
also-
fire in a bookstore.
They also
or
changed
something.
clothing.
Oh yes, they changed clothes.
Right. They ate a little. They had some tea.
They had tea. They had some sort of cake.
They took walks.
They walked places. Bill Nye fell.
Spoiler, Nick.
The girl was slightly sassy.
Oh yeah, the young girl.
People
yeah.
stared out of
That's
windows.
sassy.
There was a lot of that.
There was a lot of
We
that.
watched the paint dry and the
There
ivy
was-
grow.
They were
This
staring
movie
off into
was-
the distance.
It didn't suck. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just very boring.
It was just they told the story. That was
Yeah.
basically the point of the movie, was just
Yeah.
to tell a story, not so much. And I don't. Maybe I missed this part. Why did everybody dislike the book idea? What was the problem?
Because
Bookshop?
they had an emotional attachment to the building being something else, and I felt like everyone just followed that one woman.
Patricia
Yeah.
Clarkson, who wanted to make the art center.
That no matter what they had their own opinion, as soon as she said, oh, but this was always going to be an art center, they're like, oh, that's a good idea. It was going to be an art center. I remember
Yeah, why was she so important?
I don't know.
What was her deal?
She was just rich.
She was in
and
the Mother
sassy.
Lover video.
Yeah. She's
and
a good actress,
she had
though.
a connection with Lord because he was in the House of Lords and could make the bill.
Yeah, this movie was just. I mean, it was good. It was just. It didn't.
Bill
catch
Nye
my
was my
attention.
favorite part.
He's a great actor.
He was charmingly awkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
That's
just,
a good
just
He was the
randomly
best
just starts
character.
yelling at her when he's having. No, you don't understand this. No, that's not the conversation we're having. Whoa, that's the most action that was the explosion. That was the explosion I was waiting for. Wow.
Chris.
You didn't
That was
like
the
watching
climax, yeah.
Open the boxes?
Yeah, no, I agree. It was just very. The best word to explain it is dull.
Yeah.
So there were, and not to say that I was expecting an explosion, because there's certainly a lot of movies that I like that are just conversational. Like we talk often about, like the Before trilogy, which I'm a big fan of, or
Right.
My Dinner with Andre. I love that one too, where it's just talking, but there was really no lift to the story. It really, you had no idea where it was going, nor after a while did I feel like I cared where the story was going. But I wouldn't say I was expecting more. I got nothing from this film. Nothing, and it's
sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
At least with movies that you dislike and hate, at least that kind of fuels some rage behind it, or fuels reasoning. But like it's surprising when you say like, oh, there's X amount of movies that are made or don't get made that should have gotten made. And then there's something like
How
this.
did this one make the cut?
Like what was the deal breaker here that someone said, "Oh my gosh, we have to make this"?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The screenwriters, the directors, they all
I don't know.
They met up, like this might be a good idea, but
yeah,
that's what they thought.
Yeah, it clearly was not.
It doesn't have mass audience appeal, and that's a shame.
No, I mean, and nor should every movie need to have mass audience appeal, but I'm glad that you liked it, Erica. That's great.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it though. I've seen movies in its genre that I really went. I cried at the end, and I really felt for it.
Yeah.
This was missing that aspect.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite a Jane Eyre. It wasn't quite
right.
One of those crazy movies that. Oh, I can't even think of titles of that I find that are old and British, and the girl randomly wanders off, and then
the characters are not likable. They're not relatable, and
they're not likable or dislikable.
I like the book shopkeeper, and I like the girl. And like I said, I like the guy who likes to read, who's afraid to leave his house.
Well, you're basically the young girl because you're very sassy yourself. It's true.
Okay.
I've known Erica a while.
Yeah.
But anyway. My favorite aspect of the movie,
the
coastal town setting. I thought it was a very, very
the cinematography was good.
Very charming.
It was a very charming location, and that's the only thing I liked about it.
I agree that tonally, though, you didn't know where it was taking place, what era, and I guess what they were trying to go for is...
They briefly, brushed upon it, they touched upon it, there were hints at it.
IMDb says it was in 1959.
Yeah.
1950. Yeah, I got that impression, yeah.
You thought it was earlier?
I thought it was maybe, right after World War II.
It's kind of timeless, in a way. It could have been now, even.
I felt like
no,
the book
you're
covers,
right. It would have been later because she talks about, 10 years that she'd been widowed since.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like the book covers, looked really new, so I'm like, is this last year?
Right.
And I also don't... Fahrenheit 451, I didn't realize was that old of a book that it would be there in 1959.
Yeah, I mean...
So, that was the part that... And the books really did. They didn't look like what you'd envision books looking like in 1959, although I don't really know... They had book jackets in 1959? I thought that was a 1997 thing.
Yeah, they weren't woven and bound.
Gold pages.
Everything looked like the Bible.
Yeah.
Fun fact about this movie. Emily Mortimer, the main character, was also on 30 Rock. She played a girlfriend of Alec Baldwin's character.
Jack Donnie, yeah.
And she was very... I looked at her and I was like, I know who that is. And I looked it up and I was like... She played a girlfriend of Alec Baldwin who had aviary bone syndrome, quote unquote, where she had very brittle bones, and she acted as if she had never met Tina Fey's character every time she's met her, and Tina Fey would literally respond with, "Yeah, we met last night. I know who you are," and it was just that the whole time that tickled me.
Was she funny in that?
She was condescendingly funny.
Oh, okay. Was she also British?
She's like, "Hi, I'm Phoebe. We've never met before." And Tina Fey was like, "I met you last night." And Patricia Clark played either Andy Samberg or Justin Timberlake's mother in the Mother Lover video from The Lonely Island.
Random. Thank you for the trivia.
Which I was just watching. As I was watching this movie, I'm like, this is funny. And then I watched the rest of it, and I was like, this isn't anything. The most frustrating part, I don't think the movie was bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad movie. It was, and that's really what frustrates me more. If it was a bad movie, I'd be like, yeah, this movie was bad.
Right.
I don't think the movie was bad.
Yeah.
It was just
boring.
A movie. And nothing really happened.
It just is.
Well, why can't a movie just be a movie?
Yeah.
Because it's 2018 and I want more.
I have more.
I want it to be. I want it to be
yeah.
1918
Yeah.
personally. So
I have more respect for bad movies because
Yeah.
at least they
At least you
They
can
stand
make
by
a
the
decision.
product.
Yeah,
At least
right,
you
right.
can make a decision to say this movie
It
was
was
bad.
bad.
This
Right.
movie was good. Like this
But, like,
movie was just
It's
a thing.
it's gray.
Right,
It's just a
right.
lot of gray right there.
yeah.
Hey guys, so we only have a few minutes for our second movie. Sorry to interrupt
Movie I
the
enjoyed much
bookshop.
more.
I know.
okay, now for the more important movie.
Right.
For a boring
Even-
movie, we
okay,
certainly
even-
had a lot to say about it.
we did.
Even the title's boring. The bookshop.
The bookshop.
Would you rather have been bookshop?
Right.
With an
Yeah.
exclamation point
There you
and
go.
fire around it?
Yeah.
No, I'd rather it be bookstore. Barnes and Noble booksellers. That's what I wanted.
And here's a little plug for Barnes and Noble. Okay. All right, guys. Next movie, Happy Time Murders.
There you go.
Basically, it's like in an alternate reality where humans and puppets coexist. And Nick's already excited.
I
Nick's
love this movie.
expressions.
And
I enjoyed
basically,
it so hard.
there's a puppet, Phil Phillips.
Phil Phillips.
Phil Phillips,
Very
a
much
puppet, who's kind of like a hard-boiled private eye who wants to investigate the murder of his brother and a bunch of other puppets that are involved in a TV show. And along the way, he teams up with his former partner, played by Melissa McCarthy, and craziness ensues.
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, by Nick's grin, I think he liked it a little bit more than I did. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Unlike the bookshop, this is a movie that you can actually stand behind and
Things
say,
happen.
hey,
Yeah,
yes or
yeah,
no.
yeah. It's watchable.
I liked it. I wanted to like it more. I felt like some of the gags that were used were kind of like just recurring a little bit. And I felt like, I don't know, there was something that I just wanted more of it. That something just didn't gel right for me. I think it was because they were kind of playing too much on the noir, kind of detective element.
Yeah.
But
That was my favorite aspect.
but there was some really big laughs, and
Yeah.
I did really, really
very
get a
big
chuckle
gross,
out of it.
gross out gags.
Yeah, like really, like far out, like oh my god, like this is not your Sesame Street Muppet.
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
This
That's
is
what
Well, it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
No
street.
Sesame, all street.
That was
Right.
great. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would watch it again.
Yeah.
And I could see this being the type of movie that you would put on in the background, and just do some work. Or
I can see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nick? Or should
Oh,
we save
I-
you for the end?
Okay.
Yeah. Erica.
Okay. I did like the movie as well. I walked in there with an open mind, no expectations. I wasn't sure if I was going to love it or hate it. It did work.
Yeah.
It did.
I
Yeah.
found it interesting. The puppets, the Muppets. I was a big
I think they
Muppet
were just
fan.
puppets.
No, they
Well,
were
no,
actually
they were actually Muppets.
Oh,
They're
they were-
from
they
a
were
Muppet
Muppets.
Workshop. They're
Right.
from them.
But like
It's
in the movie,
alternative.
they never actually
They
said
no, they weren't actually
they're
Muppets,
not
but
because
they were
the
from
Muppets
that.
are owned by
Right.
Disney, but it was
Right.
it was
Right,
Jim
right.
Henson's
It's
family.
Right.
It was
So it's Jim
Brian
Henson.
Henson, his son,
Yeah.
Yes.
who directed it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so back to the plot.
Yes,
So I
yes.
like the characters. I did find it a little disappointing that I predicted the plot to a degree. Not
Uh-huh.
100%. There
Yeah.
was a twist, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
I know the twist you're talking about, and I kind of.
But I'm no spoilers.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course not.
But I like the cast. I like the characters. I like the Muppets. I actually was disappointed how underutilized they used the few people that I found in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Elizabeth Banks or.
Well, not just
Oh, the
her,
humans?
but
Oh,
yes,
okay.
the human beings.
Yeah. Well, it was more about the puppets, I'd say.
Yeah.
True, but
And
I
I
was
think-
just surprised there could have been some good gags about the Muppets and the humans.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a side story where Melissa McCarthy her
Has
character
it,
has,
yes.
has
Has
a
a puppet
Muppet
liver.
Has
liver.
a organ.
Yeah,
organ.
yeah. Right. And,
And-
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind
they-
of like that component.
If
Yeah.
they did more of that type of like integration.
No,
and,
Right.
I like the mystery, the enjouar, the whole plot of it,
Uh-huh.
the solving it, the whodunit.
Yeah.
Very Scooby-Doo-esque almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see
No,
like
it was
very
good.
quirky and weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun.
There was the one part you still failed. There was still one part I had to cover my eyes and squeal during, even
Oh.
though it was a Muppet doing it. I knew it was
the
100%
cow scene?
fake.
The cow scene, right?
No.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
The scene in the office.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I found out that interesting one person walked out during that. They were so
They,
horrified.
did they really? Well, I can
Yeah.
see that. I can see that.
But so there was still one part that I had to go ah
Yeah,
cover
yeah.
my eyes. But overall, it was fun. Not for children.
Definitely
but
not.
it's still,
No.
but definitely, I could see it getting a PG-13 rating.
Well, I was telling Chris this earlier. That's the type of movie that a kid would see, like the first R-rated movie that they should see.
Okay.
Like the transition from PG-13 to R.
Yeah, I could see
Well,
that.
I
that's a
see it
good
more
bridge.
like it should have gotten a PG-13 rated the same way that South Park
Mhm.
could have gotten a PG-13 rating and it
Well, they-
got an R, and it was like,
Pretty,
but
it
this
was
could
pretty
be-
R.
This was
pretty
pretty
R
violent.
stuff,
I mean,
yeah.
it
It
was
was so-
violent.
but
There
it-
was sex. There was cursing. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yes,
Like,
but
they
I
did
think
say the
any
F word
once.
15-year-old
They
knew
did.
what was going on.
Yeah.
Any 15-year-old.
Right,
Right.
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 And so it is a good movie to go see. You don't have to be 20-something. If you're 40-something, you may be lost on the movie.
I love the puppet work, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
it was
Brilliant.
I
great.
also
Right,
found
right,
it
right.
interesting if you stayed after the credits, during
Yeah,
the
yeah,
credits, where they
right.
showed that they worked on a whole new. They had worked the whole computerized parts into it. It was
Yeah,
less of just
with the
everyone
green screen
underneath.
and the suit.
Exactly.
That was cool.
Right,
so
right,
that
right.
was
Really
cool.
awesome,
So if
yeah.
you go see it, stay for that. Don't
And
just
there's-
walk out.
And there are some scenes where you see Phil Phillips walking around. Do you
Yes.
think that was like a little person or a child actor in there? Or was that CGI?
No, that
That
was
was all
people.
green screen
That was all
CGI.
puppetry.
That was
right,
all-
they were kind of like,
Yeah.
Like
hidden from the
everything they
background,
did in that movie was puppetry, which
Everything.
was the craziest part, and they were
Right.
all
Well,
just
there was
wearing
one
green screen
character that
suits.
had a person in it because they pulled the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Some of them they had to.
Right.
I think some of
The
them
big
was
guy,
on
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, the bulldog.
The Russian
right, yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
The Russian bulldog.
I want to
Okay.
hear your thoughts right now.
Oh, this movie was great. I loved it. No, it's. I love puppets. Number one, and it was just a stupid, silly, romping movie with
That's
puppets.
right.
I mean,
There you go.
what
What
you're
more
not
could
going to
you ask
sit there and see a streetcar named Desire with
Yeah.
puppets. I mean, come on.
I would.
I thought it was hysterical. I enjoyed it greatly. I thought the one thing that it was missing. You know how you watch like a comedy like this, and there's that one big laugh where
Yeah.
Yes.
everybody in the theater just explodes.
Right.
No, there was
That
that-
didn't happen.
I
like-
figured
That
there
didn't happen
was.
for me.
it was the office scene with the girl.
That did, maybe, and I think it's theater by theater, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like
The cow
That-
scene, I
the
think.
Cassie was awesome.
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
To
Unexpected.
me, that can't be the big laugh because that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can't have your
But
big
the way
laugh
it kept
moment in
going,
the trailer.
and then the glitter leaks out, and
Maya Rudolph.
that's where the whole part laughed.
Maya
Yes,
Rudolph.
yes,
You liked
yes,
her.
yes.
The best part of that movie.
Yeah?
I
Those bubbles.
totally
That-
agree.
She was hilarious. And just the stuff that she did, and like the facial expressions,
I totally
and the
agree.
rice pilaf thing. What is that?
Pilaf me.
Where did they get the rice pilaf idea from?
For all we know, someone that's what they used to
Right?
yeah.
They call it pilaf. Like that was perfect to me. And so I enjoy silly, stupid movies like that, and I watch them for what they are. And
Right.
it was raunchy at certain parts, but. I mean, that movie, that when you told me you were watching that, I was like, yes! Even more of a reason to see this movie.
You're
Right.
welcome,
So,
Nick. You're
I loved
welcome.
it.
Right,
Cool.
right, and you know what? That's you totally hit it right on the head. It's just
Thank you.
it is. It's just it is what it is, and you just gotta laugh at it. And I think with a lot of comedies, you kind of just put your favorites on a pedestal and kind of just prioritize them. And I think this is like that type of movie where
It's
it
just
could it could be in your pantheon.
Yeah, it's stupid.
and it could
it's
work
fun.
for this year comedy of
right,
this year.
right.
I'm
That's
also
that's a bold statement. I think.
Well,
Maybe top 5 right now.
I'm also
Okay,
hardcore
let's-
judging whoever walked out during that office scene. You have problems, person.
Well, she was a little older.
Oh.
Once they said, "Did you see her walk?" I said, because I ended up talking to the people as we were watching the CGI'd and the people in the green screen holding up the puppets, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Did you see the person walk?" I said, "I closed my eyes for that part." Yes,
Oh.
the person in that. I would, that person, the one who got confused about how to find her seat because they were one of those theaters where you.
Where
pay
do I
ahead of time.
go? Where is the number? I can't see anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it really did work. It's almost like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Yes,
for the 21st
exactly.
century.
Right,
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
Great comparison.
And
Yeah.
I enjoyed at the end when Joe McHale was just like, "I'm going back to the FBI now." that's not a thing people say. Like that's
It
not.
worked just like the end of Rush Hour 1.
Exactly. That's a good
What does
comparison.
FBI stand for?
Yeah.
Well, guys,
the big idiot?
we're about out of time here.
Boo.
You want to make some? Yeah, I know. Until
More
next
happy
time.
time.
Boo!
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Grumble, grumble.
Can I just
Yeah. Chris.
one thing about like, what do you feel about the Jim Henson Company actually, kind of producing a film like this? It feels like it goes beyond. the
Feels like a
morale.
missed. It feels like what took them so long.
Right, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is something they could have been doing.
Yeah.
They could have a whole universe of this at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't Jim Henson, wasn't he opposed to this script idea? of it being like too raunchy. Like that's
It
soils
wouldn't
the-
shock me.
Well,
He
Jim
seemed
Henson's
very,
dead.
like
Wholesome.
watching the other Muppet movies.
They're
it
all
seems
very
like
they're for kids.
very wholesome, very kid centric.
right.
This is
but
not.
the people that grew up with that,
Yeah.
people that watch those movies, they're our age now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to watch it grow up to a degree, to me, I really, I watch the
Yeah.
regular Muppet movies, and that stuff's silly and dumb too.
Mhm.
But
But
it's
there's
a
still
different
an
kind.
element on multiple levels in those where you
Yeah.
hit on spots
Yeah.
and it's like,
Mhm.
as an adult, you rewatch and it's like, oh no, they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never make movies. They never truly make movies for kids.
Yeah.
There's always stuff in there that the adults are going to pick up on.
Right.
It's everything.
And
you
the
watch.
garbage these days that kids consume.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it's so bad.
Makes
Yeah.
me want to quote an Eminem video.
Yeah. You want to quote now?
No.
Okay. All right. Say that for next time, I guess.
All right.
Guys, quick plugs, Chris.
Just Foreign Nationals. Like I mentioned before, I'm an associate producer for a great TV series called Foreign Nationals. We're in post production now with our beginning episode, and we're looking to promote and publicize that in the near future. So
Yes.
can't wait when that kind of.
And you're also in it too.
Yeah, I'm a background actor. I play an ICE agent. So I'll talk more about it on another show.
Sounds good. Looking
Cool.
forward to that.
For the third time today, wrestling podcast about wrestling. We are a wrestling podcast for fans by fans. I am in the process of reformatting it, which translates to I forgot to do this. Search WPAW on iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you find podcasts. I will eventually release new content.
Sounds good. Thank you. Erica?
Nothing as exciting to plug right now.
Being awesome.
I'm still around, cinematographer, videographer. I'm always up for different projects. Email me, erica.a, ericka.a, 268@hotmail.com, or look me up on Facebook.
Sure.
She
And-
knows her stuff.
Yes.
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 Lots of A's in there. Lots
A.
Hey.
B.
Well, I'm not EBA anymore.
C.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for being here. Erica A, Nick Commando, Chris
D.
Clemente.
See.
We'll have you guys on again real soon. All right. All right, guys, this has been our show. I'm your host, Randy Unger. This is Unger the Radar, and we'll see you next time. Take
All
care.
right.